All right. Welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, day number 251. And it's also the very last day of the year. All right, so time for the daily update. So once again, there is no updates on the anticipated appeal that the landlord may file. There's some new sponsored block types in the Shopify Store. And today, I also worked on the next long-form video. And otherwise, we'll continue today with work on the terminal block mining simulation game. Eli Melton 922 says, "Hi, how's it going?" Let's see. So yesterday, I did a fix to make it possible to make it work to fix the pasting of multi-byte characters, including Unicode characters. So that's a necessary detail to get my text input box working. So we can test that again. All right, that works. In backspace, does not work yet. Codfish VR1 says, "Hi, what are you doing?" Today, I'm working on the terminal-based video game, and I'm working on adding like a generic input box, so I can do input, and the first application of this will be for a connection menu, so I can type in connection information. And eventually I'll probably also use it so I can input commands into the game to like teleport around and stuff. forget my escaping. I think this might actually be it. I wonder if you could play your game in the browser. So actually, I merged in some of the prototype code I have for like the multiplayer version, and there actually is right now a client. I guess I don't have it set up running right now, but there is like the bare bones minimum of a client that just moves around the world that works like in JavaScript, because the endpoint is WebSockets, but there's still quite a bit of work. Like most of the actual client behavior isn't implemented. And actually, one of the things that's on the to-do list is to move a lot of stuff that's currently done in the client, move it onto the server, which will be necessary for server-side validation. Does it work fully on STD in and out? No. So it's basically, well, what I have working in the browser uses the fairly like generic block region requesting API. So it's basically like a re-implementation of the client. But a lot of the server stuff, all the server stuff doesn't need to be re-implemented. It's just so there's two main classes. There's the client block model context, which is like the keeps track of all the like clients in memory stuff, and then there's the server block model context, and so this is what runs in the server and processes requests. And for the single player version, I basically just have an interface that just passes information between the client and server class. And for the multiplayer version, it's just a different implementation of that interface class that serializes the message and sends it over the internet or through the network stack to whatever the connection is. But I guess generally speaking, it probably would, like without redeveloping stuff, that would be a pretty reasonable solution, is to actually make the whole client, like the actual like standard input-output client work in the browser. There's probably enough tools to get that working now, like stuff where you can cross-compile fairly complicated applications. It's kind of funny because that's like one of the first things that used to work. The whole idea behind Java was it would run in your browser, and then I think there was a bunch of security exploits, so they Java applets are not really a thing anymore. But I guess there's probably, I don't know, I'd have to look into it. There's probably a way to get it to work. guess that's not working. So delete character. I looked that up. I thought it was a hex character 8. Let's see, what did I want to do? Oh yeah, 127. Robert the Hero. Well, thank you for your very high regards. The show link I sent streams your terminal bidirectionally, so you can use any kind of TUI via standard in and out. The show link I sent. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by show link. I think if you post links, it doesn't. They don't show up. It's like moderates them or something. There is no pop function. Has enabling monetization during live chats helped with overall monetization? I'm not actually sure. So when I did switch it on, within a couple days, the channel broadly started getting a lot more revenue. Mostly, almost all my revenue, like no matter what videos I post, it's usually the how to make a CPU video that makes all of the revenue. So if I post new videos, the new videos don't get views. Like that most recent 2-hour long video. As soon as I posted that video, like within an hour, the how to make a CPU video started getting like 10 times as many views per hour, and then revenue jumped up. So all the new revenue came from the how to make a CPU video. It didn't come from anything else. And it was the same when I turned on monetization on the live streams. It started making the how to make a CPU video get more views, but the live streams, I think broadly speaking, don't still continue to not make any money. But then, so that happened for about 1 month, and then revenue fell down again. Actually, this month's revenue is very low. So I don't know what the pattern is. Moriari I6U says, Happy New Year, bro. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Have you considered how to make a CPU video? How to make a GPU as a follow-up? I could. I honestly, I have I have an idea. It's not for lack of ideas or content. There's more stuff I could do, but there's not enough hours in the day to actually get it done. And the problem is, if I invest so much time into something, it's really hard to figure out what specific content actually makes money, because it's almost like YouTube makes it as difficult as possible, makes it like absolutely impossible to figure out what content will actually produce revenue, because the content that I make doesn't make the revenue. It's always like an older video that makes the revenue. But then if I have to make new videos to get the old videos to get views, so it's very disconnected. That 2-hour video was great. Second screen content, excellent. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to hit the market for people who are just sitting around like with their family during Christmas or something, and they're like, hey, go on YouTube and find something. And I was kind of thinking like, ideally I wanted to get it done before, but it was a photo finish. I was working on it. It just kept going on and on and on. It's just so much. Like there's a few points that were kind of boring, so I put a lot of editing into it and stuff. But I guess it didn't quite hit the mark in terms of views. Hello, I've been watching your videos since you made the Broke Loser video. I like the most recent one, but I think it would have been benefited from being split up into multiple videos. Yeah, some people suggested that. Part of it was also an experiment. I've never released a video that long before, so it was also about collecting data on like what actually works and what doesn't work. I figured a long video, extra long video around the Christmas time might trend better, but that turned out not to be true. The other thing is I don't want to have like every time I release a new video, that's like another sample on the channel about what the channel is about, and I don't want to make the channel only about like housing issues. I would like to kind of like if I split it up into like 10 videos, or someone said like do a half-hour max. There's a lot of detail that I wanted to convey in it, though. If I split that up into 5 videos, then I have 5 different videos about housing on the channel. And then the YouTube's going to learn like, oh, this channel is only about people who are being evicted. But after this, there's really not. I might do one more on like a. Well, we'll see how the appeal goes, but I might do a follow-up on once there's a conclusion on the appeal. But I like using NewPipe and playing videos like the last one in the background as I'm doing chores. Yeah, that's kind of the market I was going for, but it didn't quite hit the mark like the last one did. looks like that actually works, but it does not erase old content. I think streamers can get away with posting very long videos. They're lightly edited because they produce so much content so rapidly. Longer videos are great if you can produce them often. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's hard to figure out what to spend time on making. I should make more like shorts and stuff, but maybe from the live streams. But there's not enough hours in the day. Love the detail you put into your videos. Yeah, there was that's part of the reason why it took so long. Lots of people say like just don't go into so much detail and just post like more less polished slop. But the problem is for serious topics like that. Like if I can. Well, another point is people say like don't spend so much time. Make shorter videos, but actually to make like in that 2-hour video, the last hour of the video was like maybe 20% of the recording time. So if I spend less time in a video, it makes the video longer because I have to take a lot of dense information and convey it in a short amount of time. It takes a lot of time to just figure out how to condense it and present it well. But I don't know. It's an optimization problem. The the one I posted last year, I mean, it got 1 million views, but this one only has like 10,000. So I guess YouTube's probably optimizing for different things now, because the average watch time is very good. Post-production is massive time sink, unless you have really optimized it during pre-production. Yeah, I think this eviction ordeal has been such a crazy thing. I figured just even if the video doesn't do well, I want to document this, and then it's all out there. And I think hopefully things have calmed down. Hopefully there's no new fires or anything. So I guess another thing I could work on is I don't think I can press the Q character. Sending your videos suddenly almost mid-sentence to help with high watch time. I guess it kind of I guess that is an editing trend other people have done. I think for some videos it does kind of it makes it feel more dense, and I think it encourages people to maybe watch it again. I think people maybe think oh, if I watch it again, I'll hear what he said at the end, but of course they don't. But I think it's it's just an editing style that works. Okay, if I press Q, it quits the program, which is not good. Maybe I should just delete this entirely. Because that'll change the behavior. As a software engineer, your breakdown of the situation was amazing. I hope to one day have the skill needed to dissect complicated systems like that and describe them so well. Yeah, a big part of it's just taking the time to actually do it. That video, it was a 2-hour video. It took me almost a month to put that together. A lot of it too. I actually did a lot of work to like compile, like as all those events unfolded. I didn't know. Like at the time, I was like, "Wow, this is crazy. I better like make a record of this because this will probably come up. I'll need this as evidence for the at the tenant board later." But actually, almost all the evidence, all those documents and stuff were never submitted into evidence at all. And of course, it was illegal stuff, so I kept good records. I put in all the upfront work to it, so I figured I might as well like try to get some value out of this. Put it into a video. I guess I could change this so it turns on the help menu. Just out of curiosity, why don't you use a language server or Linder? Looks like you're using stock Vim config. Or more broadly, what are your thoughts on tooling? It has been on my to-do list for a long time to do that. People have asked me that probably almost every stream. Maybe not every stream, but most streams. I've settled that I will eventually learn how to use NeoVim and set up a language server. I have actually looked into it multiple times to try and find some kind of like language server integration for Vim. And every time I would find it would be some like sketchy repo some person made, and you have to like work a bunch. You have to like trust some random person's code, and it's got all the setup process and stuff. And I would always just like, I'm not going to bother doing this. But I guess people have told me that NeoVim is the way to go. And lately, the only coding I've been doing is on stream. So eventually, I'll probably, maybe after I get the next video finished, I'll probably do a short stint on like AI coding tools. I should probably make my an actual video on my review and opinion of AI coding tools. Don't mean to beat a dead horse. No worries. I guess I should probably have an FAQ. There's that question, and people ask me why did I choose Java. I used to use ALE for Vim, and it worked pretty well until I needed support for a niche language. And Vim is the way. Yeah, that's what everyone says, so I'll probably go with that. So I guess what I should probably have is a message. That would be an awesome video to see from your perspective on AI tools. Since you're very measured on topics, I think that was my favorite part of the immigration video you made. Yeah, I try to. I want to put new information out in the world. There's so many videos that are just like, it almost sounds like they went to ChatGPT and they're just like, ChatGPT, make me a video on this topic. And then ChatGPT will be like, certainly. Immigration is a broad and diverse topic with many different perspectives. Okay, so this is kind of an annoying thing to implement. That's like tech YouTuber who made a video about product and pretty much just read the spec sheet and product blurb. Yeah, it's not really, unless there's some thought put into it, I don't think it's really that useful. But then again, maybe I should actually just make slop content. If it actually made money, a lot of people say just make slop content. I've had a bunch of people message me and be like, "Oh, just make these videos complaining about stuff." But there's also a lot of channels that do that. I not only do I pay attention to channels that do well, I pay attention to channels that, when I find them that they're pumping out tons of content, and the videos get like 200 views, and there's a surprising number of channels that, they're not that bad, but they're putting out content all the time and nobody watches it, which makes it even like more kind of pathetic. Like if you put out content that's kind of embarrassing or low quality, but you make money, then you can say like, whatever, it works. But if you have like if you just have a bunch of like rant channels complaining about stuff, but they don't get any views, people will be like, you're a loser, get a job. And they'll be right. Notepad Plus is the best editor. I can make a video on that. I should really have a generic message for messaging the console writer thread state. Oh man, do I have to make another enum for this? So much work to design software correctly. Katie is the best. I think I've heard of that. It's an editor, I think. How did it feel the first time you got auto-generated code? I had to learn to give up on Java to make good Android. How did it feel the first time you got auto-generated code? Like with AI tools? I haven't really used them that much. I've used them in like some ChatGPT examples and stuff. I had to give up on Java to make good Android. Java is a great tool, but the tools did not want to work that way. They wanted me to lay things out and fill in their own Java, so I let them. It's pretty cool, so I thought, Java. I'm not really sure what you mean. Are you talking about using AI to generate Java? Real developers use Nano and VI. I don't know about Nano, but VI for sure. Katie, the editor of KDE. Real developers don't care what you edit with as long as you assign 2 spaces to your tabs. I think I have 4. I have the default. Or no, I guess it's like 8 or something. I think you could carve out a niche by giving balanced takes on controversial topics. Yeah, there are a few controversial topics I probably would I've thought about covering, but honestly, it just takes a lot of the process of writing, of writing out the idea in like a simple, compelling way is it just takes a lot of physical time. Video was great because I came into it thinking this guy's could do so much better. You addressed all my arguments before the end of the video. Completely changed my view. That subversion of my expectations made the video great. Yeah, that was one of the kind of that's kind of one of the challenges. Is like this was a difficult experience, and if I just include certain information, people will be like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Why didn't you do this thing?" And then later on, I'll explain like, "Oh, I did try this. I did this and that, and here's the reason why I couldn't do that." And that kind of it's necessary to include all that to convey how awful the experience of being rent evicted is. No, AOSP doesn't want me to write Java. AOSP, I'm not sure what that means. It wants me to specify a layout, write its own Java. Don't know how it is now. Android development was 5 years ago. The last time I did Android development was 2011, which was a while ago. Happy last day of 2025. Yes. Last 2 hours of 2025. I consider A like an autowriter for information, and there is never a bug-free answer. Luckily, it's functional at all. Just because code compiles doesn't mean it's good. It's true. I might try AI for refactoring. Seems like a good use for it. Yeah, I still have yet to. I will. People keep asking me about it, so I gotta put that high up in the priority list so I can refer. When people ask me for my take on it, I can say like, watch the video. So much stuff that I could do. I think if you make a few more of these videos, you can start making a formula for it. I've had success using AI with Haskell, since programs written with Haskell generally work as long as they compile. Huge asterisks with that statement. Yeah, Haskell has been one of those languages that's been high up on my to-do list to learn, I guess since university, but I just never got around to it. And I guess now in hindsight, when I was in school, I was more motivated to learn it, but the number of people that actually write Haskell and the number of projects that are act like Haskell probably wouldn't be my first thought, just because there's not as many other people who understand it. Guest 692. What are the Tor? What are your world domination plans exactly? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I have a video in the description that goes into detail about my world domination plans. Does the world domination plan include free cookies? That hasn't been evaluated yet as a part of the plan, but I think that's a good candidate for an inclusion in the plan. I like to go functional programming meetings, because they have to get good beer and pizza for you to consume while they break your brain. Yeah, I used to go to programming meetups pre-COVID. I haven't looked every 6 months or so. I've been looking to see what kind of events are going on, but I haven't seen as many of them lately. Although I haven't checked in the last 6 months or so. Trips if you get in a room with functional programmers. Every other one will be compositing or even straight up writing their own functional language. I managed to understand monads a bit. It's lucky they're like the most useful thing to see. Took me a lot of pizza and beer just for that realization. I didn't have to know everything. $12 billion incoming. Excellent. It's about time. My 251 days have paid off. see if this works. I haven't been following the conversation. I figured I'd just let you guys go back and forth. Almost took over the world once. I realized it was going to be a really, really big nuisance, take up all my time. Yeah, tell me about it. I've been having a live stream every single day for 251 days. And I'm still not even like 1% done fundraising. Forget some people read all these. Yeah, the internet reads everything. It's going to go into the cloud and stay there forever. I guess as long as the chat's on topic, and it's like sometimes I get really crazy chats, people spam stuff that doesn't make any sense. But as long as it's friendly chat about programming, it's fine. Interesting. So I press Q. The help menu comes up, but it doesn't display. Frequently make no sense, but then again, if you have a truly creative idea, it may be difficult for others to visualize the same. When I determined that money wasn't real, I realized it wasn't really effective for me to try to get a lot of it. That I needed to control that which controlled the imaginary money transfers. I guess that makes less sense than some of the other things, or I guess maybe it requires more interpretation. I probably won't spend too much time thinking about all these. Nobody's going to have $1 billion cash. Therefore, it's only bits. Just want to make enough money to retire as fast as possible, so I can make any meme software that I want. Well said. I think that's what every software developer aspires to do. Okay. All right. So I've changed the behavior. So Q used to just quit, and I've changed it to for some frames, like the map area, it'll send a message to just open the help menu. If I practice for retirement now, I can always make money later when I'm in the mood. That's true, but it's hard to practice for retirement now when you don't have any money. Michio Hashimoto is my idol in that sense. Dude made HashiCorp, sold it for a couple billions. Then taught himself Zig and made Ghost TTY. I haven't heard of that guy. I'll have to look him up. Inability to lie prevented my career from reaching levels that would enable access to big budgets. Not hard at all, but realistic, given current circumstances. Yeah, the way the economy is going, I don't know what the future holds. The relationship between hard work and payoff is ever since COVID, it seems to have kind of gone out the window, and the government doesn't seem to have any sign of getting things under control. If you've heard of Terraform, his company made that. Neat. So there's a few programmers out there that are like super impressive polymaths that have a lot of big accomplishments under their belt. Another super programmer is Fabrice Bellard. He made a whole bunch of like the QEMU emulation software, and I think he also made he wrote a compiler and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyhow, still don't really understand the project overall, but I can respect any effort to dominate the world. Props on perseverance. Oh, thank you. Hey dude, always like to stop in and say hi when I see you on. Saw your video about the landlord issues. Sorry to hear that y'all going through that. Stay strong. Stay documenting. Stay dangerous. I will. Thank you very much. Yeah, most of the stuff in that video, things seem to have calmed down for now, although there's still an appeal going on. So, but we'll see what happens. But recently there hasn't been too much chaos lately. Grow my own food, make my own clothes and furniture, generate my own electricity. That's a good idea. The regular world is getting so insane. Like maybe we could start doing that. Like if people could just build little friend groups and stuff. Like if you think about the few main things you need to live, like food, clothes, and shelter. And if we just like reinvented old school traditions, and like you actually spent all of your time and money on like learning how to make clothes, and then you just made them for your friends, and you could make clothes that are not garbage and that actually fit and that don't get holes in them. That's actually a big problem I have now with pants. I have some pairs of pants, like they're kind of old and worn. I've had them for like 10 years and they're still fine, but then I buy brand new pants from American Eagle, and they, like within 6 months, they have a hole. they get a hole right in the crotch area, which is the worst place for them to develop a hole. So I have to buy new pants, even though like 90% of the material is fine. It's the wrong place. Too easy to harvest power? I guess, if you say so. Chemical mechanical polishing. Yep, that's all you need to make your own CPUs. Small disciplined unemployment savings can be interest harvested for extra milk money per month. Then we could trade goods. Maybe instead of trading, we could create some medium for trade that is standardized. I don't know, bartering is pretty legit. You don't even need the intermediary. Amazon Essentials jeans are pretty cheap. Have a good ratio of time lasted to price. Maybe I should look into. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Amazon Essentials jeans. Very liberating to live quietly in a world full of noise. Peace out, brother. Have a good night. Fleet Farm has the best jeans. Called Fleet and Forest. They're $12 for carpenter jeans. One of the big issues I always have is finding ones that actually fit. So I guess one annoying thing, I'm going to have to explicitly add a case statement to handle the Q character, but it's not a big deal, I guess. Amazon Essential clothes in general are dirt cheap. They won't last forever. They're so cheap, you can just replace them. I'll have to look into that, because if it's Amazon, they probably have like every single size possible. Jeans are funny. Think about them. The pocket sizes are either super short or super long. Random. I guess the next thing I'll update is I'll make it so the tab will now be handled by the individual frame. Today I let my supervisor know I think the new lead gets no respect from me, and I think he is a dope head. Felt so good to get that off my chest. Hope he tells HR and they let me go this Monday. The new lead, the person leading you. So you want them to let you want them to let you go, or the lead? I would assume you'd want them to let the other person go if they're a dope head and they're leading you. They really are that cheap? I'll have to check them out. It never occurred to me to buy jeans off of Amazon. Oh, maybe you're talking about Fleet Farm. I'll have to. I guess that's the one unexpected benefit of streaming, is that random people tell you things, and then you learn new tricks about the world other than coding. New person leading me? I think they should have let this lead gone 2 years ago. Guys left work over 50 times after being there for just an hour of work. He's left for either being sick or feels pain. I seen him for the Frankenstein Fentanyl walk 50 different times at work. Wow. Is this like a software development job? He's a liability. Yeah, I guess depending on what you're doing. No, forklift. Oh yeah, if he's working with, if he's working with equipment like that, that's a big liability. I wouldn't want to be working around someone who's on stuff like that all the time, operating heavy machinery. Yeah, that's rough. Sad. Okay, that works. I don't know. Maybe it's also maybe they just don't pay very well, too, and they can't find anyone else qualified. That's what I'm saying. They even said to him after being sick and ready to leave home, "Do you think you should be driving?" Yeah, I mean, if you've seen him before, like if he just says he's pain or something, then because sometimes people do have like chronic illnesses and stuff, and they're trying their best. But if he's like has the fentanyl, Frankenstein fentanyl walk, then I mean he's got an issue. And I mean, what happens when like I'm not sure what your workplace is like and like what, but if he's operating that thing at all, what happens when he like drives over somebody and then someone dies, and then they're just like, "Oh, sorry about that. Oops." And now it's like just someone's life is totally screwed up or gone. Even my manager agreed. Yeah, I mean, if your manager agrees, then I mean, maybe your manager's just trying to be nice or something, but I mean, I would say if he's actually putting your safety in danger, there's no excuse for that. We have to take P test for weed, but I guess they don't test for whatever he's on. Almost hit by another guy. So they don't pay attention or don't beep. Yeah, you got to. I mean, when you're working with heavy machinery, you got to follow the protocols. Even if it takes more time, if you're getting paid, like, I mean, hopefully your management stuff's not, pushing you so much to be fast and like that makes you make mistakes. But if management is like relatively lax and gives you the space to do that, then there's kind of no excuse. Because all you need is one. It's not even if someone gets like not even if someone like dies or something, but if someone runs into you and like screws up your back for the rest of your life, then your quality of life is impaired forever. And then maybe you can you have to go through a lawsuit or something to get that. It'd be better just not have the impairment. Remember working in window fabrication and construction. There was so much stuff like this. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Working overtime during holiday. Well, because that guy called in sick twice. I'm getting not overtime because it's holiday. Looking for a better job. Even told him I'm happy with my job, just not happy with working around idiots. Yeah, I don't blame you. Because the problem is, like, if you end up getting injured or something bad happens to you, then who picks up the tab on that? People are just, I mean, there's probably like some workers' comp or something you get, but even that's not enough. Like if you get a back injury for life, then they're just like, oh, sorry about that. Here's your $20. Forklift weighs as much as a truck or more. Yeah, it's even more dangerous than a truck because forklifts, the nature, if someone's driving around in a truck, in most modes of operation of a truck, people can like see you and then not run over you. But for a forklift, you're like working with stuff and stuff falls down. And I mean, I sometimes Twitter, I don't know, Twitter's algorithm will go crazy, and it'll start showing me all these like crazy videos of people getting like horrific workplace injuries with like forklifts and stuff, of like some guy in China not paying attention to a forklift and he like runs over some other guy and or like smashes into like a shelf, and then the whole thing falls down on everybody. Weighs more than a car. Yeah, and it's also like it carries stuff too, so it can drop things, it can flip over, you can impale stuff. Gotta get that back injury for life in the military. You'll get good compensation. Do you? I've heard that everything I've heard about military people trying to get compensation is that it's a nightmare, and they'll always say like that your whatever injury you have is not service related or something, and then it's this nightmare you have to go through to actually get your compensation. Workout, love bodybuilding. I want no injuries. Already have labrum surgery before. Yeah, stay away from forklift accidents then. If the bracken comes down, I'll be dead and missing for a day or two. Yeah, if that's the kind of place you work at, then you don't want a person who's like nodding off on fentanyl, who like slumps over and just drives into a beam or something. And like, oops, sorry, we knocked down the whole thing. Hurt my shoulder in the gym. Took a year and a half to heal. Yeah, the older you get, the more time it takes. And then as you get older, some of those injuries from the past will come back to haunt you. 8 to exiles. And it goes 50 back. Space to create an error. Have you seen the bottoms of some racks? Yeah, that's not a place you want to be nodding off while driving a forklift. Now I never push my shoulders super hard. Yeah, it's annoying finding your physical limits. Once you find that limit, you realize you can't push yourself past it. After labrum surgery, I swear my shoulder is more dislocated after. Now it's stronger than my right. All my skateboard injuries got wrecked. I'm 47 this Sunday. I feel it all now. Yeah, I've gotten random. I got like snowboard injury on my wrist, and like, I think it healed fast at the time, but then all your random little injuries come back at some point. My pet theory is you build muscle to compensate for those injuries, and then when you lose that muscle, it all comes back. Losing muscle with age is usually how most uncover this phenomenon. That's a good theory. I need to get back in the habit of working out more. So it's so time consuming to work out. takes an hour every day. That's still a lot. Just have to find the time. Yeah, I've made exercise like a mandatory part of my routine. Every other day I do but like an hour of a bunch of exercises, and I structure everything else in my schedule around that. Having a home gym helps. Yeah, that'd be nice stuff to actually have like equipment. I have just some 20-pound dumbbells. Well, the ones you may have seen in my videos. If you do it at the beginning of the day, it also doesn't feel like you lose any time. Very habitual. Yeah, I should make some changes to my routine. Yeah, I usually do. I usually end up doing mine in the evening. If you have no equipment, burpees are a good way to get your heart rate up. I do, let's see, I do like 20 curls with my 20-pound weights, 10 push-ups. I do 4 sets of the following: the curls, some push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and I don't know, it's kind of like a squat type thing where I kind of hold the weight and like squat down with one leg, and then I don't know what it's called, but it's some it's an exercise that Arnold Schwarzenegger did, and he said that it was one of his favorite exercises, where you hold the dumbbells like this and then put them up like that. I forget what that's called. Yeah, I do 4 sets of that. It ends up being like about an hour. Arnold Press? Is it named after him? Sounds solid for calisthenics routine with end goal of maintenance. Yeah, I haven't gone too much into the science of optimizing my routine. I probably should. There's probably some other exercises I should incorporate. Because honestly, I spend a lot of time sitting at the computer, and there's probably like certain muscle groups that I really I've neglected for like years. Okay, I think that has moved all of the actions into the frames. So now we can input anything. Wow, $50. Thank you very much to, I guess that's Colin Arnett 0. Thanks. That's a pretty huge. That's one of the biggest super chats I've gotten in a while. Very appropriate for the new year. Forgot about New Year's for a sec. Yeah, it's in 14 minutes. It's time for celebration. In 3 hours for you. Yeah, I'll probably I'll stream over well, 13 minutes until the deadline. And I don't know, maybe I'll stream another 10 minutes or something. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. Oh yeah, and it's that's US, so it's also 68 Canadian dollars. That'll go well toward the World Domination Fund. Okay, movement between frames is working. What is that? An Eagle football? I live in a ghetto city in California where people take gunshots and firework to an extreme. It's going to be total mayhem until 2 a.m. I guess gunfire is probably cheaper than fireworks. So they're just being more efficient, I guess. More frugal. Let's see. So the point of all that was if you learn the hotkey for switching between tabs in your terminal, you can keep all your Vim windows open between running your compilation commands. Small ergonomic improvement. Yeah, I think you can actually you can open shell right from Vim. Let me try that in a sec. All right, now I just have to delete used characters. I guess what I can do is yeah, I could just do sh, and then, and now I'm still within Vim. Nice sneeze, thank you. Yep, so now I'm in the game, which is a sub-process of the shell. And then I exit the shell and I get back into Vim. I used that for a while, but then I decided not to. It got kind of confusing. I couldn't remember if I had it up in the background. Okay. What should I do next? Sean from Portland says, Happy New Year, Robert and fans. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. T-minus 2 minutes. Oh yeah, it is 2 minutes away. Wow, the last 11 minutes went quickly. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's kind of like cold and snowy out. I don't know if I'll see any. If I'll see any, or if see or hear any activity tonight. It's not much of a party night out. Happy New Year. It is the start of 2026. This will be, I think this is guaranteed to be a very interesting year. So much has already happened in 2025. There's going to be lots of exciting new things to see on the news in the coming year. I hear some people yelling. There's some fireworks going off out there. I think 26 will not resemble any year we have ever lived through. You're probably right. It'll probably be a more crazy version of 2025. And then 2027, that's when things will get real crazy. And then 2028, that'll be even crazier. 2027 is the year everything changes. 2026 is the seeding. Hold on to your butts. Yep. Start stockpiling food and water. Build some community. Start working on that cabin in the woods. spent all of 25 facilitating my own automation as a dev director, and it's nearly complete. Facilitating your own automation. You're a director in a company, and you're automating your role. That sounds very, very high level. So you can completely replace yourself with AI. Oh, look at that. It's working. Automating every aspect of dev and business. Nice. So you could just have a company that prints money and you don't have to do anything. That sounds pretty awesome. I wish I had that. Maybe I need to invest more in some deep fake AI. I could run some training on the previous 250 live streams. That'd be kind of a funny test to just like silently swap out the real thing for like an AI generated one. See if anyone notices. That'll probably betray a lot of trust, though. As soon as I did that once, if I did that once, everyone would suspect forever. You're an employee looking forward to luxury space communism. Oh, that's what you think. Instead, we're going to have luxury space slavery, and I don't know what we'll have. We'll have some like machines are able to automate work. We have a lot of contradictions in our economy. Our economy is becoming more productive, but the amount of years you have to work to build a house, to acquire a house, is increasing. I was thinking recently about what would be the advice for a young person. But honestly, if you just dropped out of the system and like scavenged for like planks of wood and board and construction materials and stuff, you could probably, honestly, if you probably if you just went around to like construction sites and just begged people for nails and said like, please, kind sir, could you spare could you spare 20 nails for me? And if you just literally did that for like years, you could probably get enough material to build a house. Compare that with like, working 40 hours a week for what do we have, like 50-year mortgages now? The math on a lot of stuff it doesn't make sense anymore. text input BG colors. All right, that's a little bit more clear. Getting closer to having this working as a feature. All right, so Happy New Year's, indeed. All right, so I think that'll be it for the New Year's stream. This wasn't very exciting, but I got I guess the new feature in this stream is now I can type the letter Q. So before that would have been captured by the reader thread, and it would just exit the program. But now it's actually inputting it, and also I guess what I can do right now, I'm capturing tab, and the frame tells the tab if I have multiple text areas, then I can capture that. And within that, if I could I'll probably have some like text area collection class or something, and then tab can cycle through if I have multiple text areas. And there's not too much more to implement on this. I guess I'll do some offset stuff. So I guess I'll initialize the text area with like a max width. So there'll be like a displayed width, and then if I type past it, it'll like translate past. So that way you can, if it's like 200 characters, you can type out 200 characters. It'll actually render properly. But all right, that'll be it for this stream, and we'll be back tomorrow for day 252. All right, have a good night, and Happy New Year's, everyone.